Here to our right, we have Sal. This is one of our greater kudu. He is one of the largest antelopes in Africa.
Watching such a majestic animal freely roaming about, you could be excused if you thought you were on the African Serengeti.
As you can see by his beautiful horns, he can get up to about 2.5 to 3 twists as he ages. They kind of come along with maturity, as well as the beard that goes down his neck.
How old is this guy here?
He's about 2.5, almost 3 years old. And then right behind him, we have our southern white rhinos. Those are our 2 boys, Mojo and Akajira.
But in reality, you and the 2 rhinos that are curiously eyeing you back are just an hour outside of downtown Atlanta at the Georgia Safari Conservation Park, located in Madison, Georgia.
We have been open officially for 1 full year.
Jessica Malloy is the park's marketing director. She tells me more about the park's mission as we take cover from a sudden summer thunderstorm.
You cannot care for what you don't understand. So being able to bring people out here, being able to let them learn and see these animals up close in their natural settings, and being able to spend the night with them and wake up with them in the morning, it sets an entire different atmosphere of being able to take that educational value away and creating future conservationists.
And about the importance of drawing visitors to the park to experience the animals in different ways.
This facility has touring, different options available that we do 7 days a week. We also offer lodging and different accommodations. Our whole purpose is just inspiring others to take care of our animals in need. So we try to have a fun time, but educate others about animals at the same time.
It's the conservation efforts that sets apart this animal experience from others in the area. Andy Clausen is the director of animal care for the park and our guide as we tour the roughly 286 acres currently hosting animals.
Because we focus on conservation, that means that the general public is not feeding from our vehicles. We allow our animals to have a little bit more natural engagement in their environment. So they're doing things like foraging through the woods for certain browse items or certain grasses. So it's a little bit different than, something coming up to the side of your vehicle and eating straight from your hand.
Visitors can experience the animals in a variety of ways. The most easily available is the guided tours on the safari trucks, similar to the ones that are used in Africa. We see at least a dozen hoofstock animals as we tour the grounds.
Impala are very often coined the fast food of Africa because every predator goes after an impala. So they don't have that particular pressure here.
These guys here, what are we looking at?
So we are currently looking at our Addix antelope. It is a species that we are very proud to have here at Georgia Safari. They are critically endangered, meaning that there are very, very few left in their native habitat near the Sahara Desert, which comes with its own challenges trying to manage an animal that is originally from the desert in Georgia. Addix are critically endangered. They are classified by the IUCN, which means that there's less than 250 left in their native habitat. We have 7 here. We have 1 male and 6 females, and we are actively trying to breed them.
It is a major goal for the facility, especially endangered species.
So we work through animal management programs that track genetics of a lot of the captive population. So for example, our impala, like we have off here to the right, they're part of an SSP program, which is a species survival program. So our females and our male were matched, kind of like a dating website, to say this is the best breeding pair, and they were brought here to breed because this is a species that does better in a large landscape setting.
So for animals to breed, they have to be very healthy, very happy in their environment. It's sort of a trickle down from what you're providing for them in the first place, right?
That's correct. Breeding is very often a signal of how comfortable they feel in their environment, how well balanced their nutrition is, how steadfast their behavioral dynamics are. So the fact that we get to see breeding in multiple species here is a huge testament to the care that they receive from our staff.
While there are the animals that you would expect to see, zebras, ostriches, giraffes, water buffalo, and even American bison, you may not see an example of every species.
We try to be very intentional about species that can survive the hot summers, but also tolerate the cold winters.
But the chance to get close to these animals and watch them in a natural environment is quite amazing. A far different experience than a traditional zoo.
The zoo business has really changed over the last 30, 20, 10 years.
Yes.
In terms of the expectation of what people want to see. It's not the old days of of cages and, small compound areas.
That's correct. The public is really pushing zoos to have these big open landscapes to allow the animals to have a more natural state of being. So giving them places to hide, giving them things to do, letting them be more animal is the best way to put it. And in the zoo community itself, it's becoming more of a science. So your staff is becoming more educated, more science-based. They're really becoming animal care professionals. They know everything about these animals, whether it's behavior, whether it's their health. So it's really changed for the better. So it is a line that we have to be aware of. Obviously, people want to see the animals. Yes, they want the animals to hide, but in these large open landscapes, sometimes an animal hiding means they don't see the animal. So we depend very heavily on our education staff to talk about how important that is, that the animal can get away, that it doesn't have to be seen, and make that entertaining for the public to consume.
The animals also get a chance to see guests in their natural habitats.
The accommodations here are really cool. It's great. It's an interesting way to sell and create a sort of tourism dynamic into something that, they figured out many years ago in Africa.
Yes, so we have different facilities here. The luxury safari tents that we have are different accommodations for 2-bedroom as well as a 1-bedroom. We also have a giraffe suite where you can spend the night with the giraffe as well. Right now we're staring out looking at our Hartsman zebra. Some of the animals that you can see on the patios here are going to be different hoofstock species, emu, ostrich. It just creates a whole different experience. It's like going to Africa without the passport.
So if you're lodging here, are you guaranteed to see animals?
You are. So our lodging requirements here have their own private pastures along with it. And then if you're staying in our giraffe suite, you actually get to spend the night with the giraffe.
An animal guarantee. How does it get better than that?
It doesn't.
Spending a night with a giraffe. I like it. It's good. It is hard to imagine a creature more beloved on this planet than giraffes. I mean, they've been the stuff of myth, they have been the stuff of literature, they have been the stuff of childhoods. They represent such really a compass point in the lives of so many people, those who've never even been around one.
Mm-hmm. They definitely do seem mythical. When you try to describe one to someone who's never seen one, they don't sound like a real animal by any means, but they are, and they're fantastic animals at that. So this is Phoenix. He is a little bit more interested in everything around him, so he's probably going to come up and say hello. He also really enjoys his food, so he's going to be picking at that the entire time.
Wow.
But he's only about
Fantastic
2.5,
creature.
so he is roughly about 12 feet tall. He will get anywhere between 15 to 18 feet tall. He's much more curious than the girls. And he's always looking for more. And he can have plenty of it, so you're welcome to feed him some more.
Great. What a beautiful animal. Gosh.
If you want to get a little more up close and personal, there are the park's animal ambassadors.
So the individual we have here today is Stable. Stable is a scenic fox. She is the smallest member of the canine family.
The Georgia Safari Conservation Park is like an African safari adventure, all just a short car ride away. For Georgia Public Broadcasting, I'm Jeff Ullinger.